Hi guys, Elizabeth Gonzalez from Sincerely Miami here, and today we're hanging out with my boy Mateo over at the Concrete Beach Brewery. So, Mateo, your role here is the social hall manager. Tell me what that means.
So basically, I oversee the social hall. This is, our tasting room, our tap room, if you want to call it. Everyone comes here mainly at night. We have a really good crowd. Do a lot of live bands, a lot of different food vendors as well. So, we oversee the real interaction with the guests that actually come to the brewery. You buy Concrete Beach on the shelf. You're just getting the product. You come here, you get really the whole hospitality side of it, and really the passion that we have for our products.
Amazing. So, along with viewing the Concrete Beach Brewery, we're also going to check out some of their top beers today. So, kick us off.
The first one here, we got our Stiltsville. All right, so this is our Miami-style Pilsner. So what's a little unique about this is that we do a dry hop on the end of this beer, making it very unique from your traditional Pilsner. So most Pilsners have a very dry flavor to them. They're very crisp and refreshing, but they don't have the heavy hop content that we have. So we didn't want to do a traditional style. We wanted to keep it with the essence of our community and really do something different and unique. So that's what makes our Pilsner very unique. One of the things with beers, you really got to just smell it and let it hit your palate and get a feel for it. What you smell and taste isn't going to be the same as what I smell or taste. So, some of the notes you'll pick up, it's very clean, it's very refreshing. On the back end, you do have a little of that hoppiness that you taste, but you still get a little sense of like some fresh cut grass. Those are some of the flavor profiles you'll see in this beer here. Great beer for the summer, perfect for Florida as well.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, this is one of those beers that I imagine hanging out on the beach or on the boat, just Stiltsville comes to mind.
Absolutely, and what's perfect about that is we do this beer in cans as well, so that's what it helps it out even further on the beach.
Awesome. I'm actually going to, Jenga's happening. So I'm actually going to ask for you to come over here and hang out with me, yeah. There we go. Right here. I know. This is the fun part of being live, that I can change up our set and give our boy DeMarco a moment to get comfy again. So now this tasting setup, this is something that is offered on a regular basis.
Yeah, so we have a flight here that you can get. You can pick any 4 beers we have on tap. And it's really great for a consumer that's never been here before, a first-time guest, maybe someone from out of town. So you pick any 4 beers you want, and you cut it in a nice 4-ounce sample. Really good way to try all our different flavors.
And how many rotating beers are typically on tap at one time?
Generally at Concrete Beach, we try and at least maintain about 10 beers. We do have 4 year-round beers. One of those Moss Hops is only available in kegs, so you can get it at different restaurants, but you can't buy it and packaged at one of your stores. But generally, we like to keep around 10 on. We actually did a really cool collaboration with a lot of the brewers, made an Irma IPA that all the breweries threw on, and it ran out in about 4 days. Really good beer, and it was just a good homage to kind of what happened down here.
All right, so what is our second beer?
All right, so our second beer we're going to taste, this is our Havana Lager. Number 2. Yep, that's all right. So this is our Havana Lager. This is a Vienna-style lager. So again, what makes this different is it's going to have some toasted malts on the finish, and that what really gives it a nice sweetness on the back end after you sip it.
I taste that sweetness. You said hops, and I actually I went to another brewery recently and did a brewery tour, and it was one of the coolest things I've done. And the brewer says, "Oh, this is the actual hops. Like, do you want to try it?" And it looks like rabbit food, and it was the most terrible thing I put in my mouth.
Yeah. A lot of people make that mistake even on the brewery tours here, because what a lot of breweries use just for the freshness is they use hop pellets, and that's why it resembles sort of a rabbit food. But yeah, a lot of people have made that mistake here as well.
I appreciate it here, but do not eat hops. Don't eat it.
Yep, bad idea. So we actually introduced this beer into the market about 5 or 6 months ago. So now this is a year-round beer that we do here at Concrete Beach. And what's really important about it is that, you know, it's really captured the essence of Wynwood and South Miami with the Havana. The Suave is kind of the nickname we give it. Again, great beer for the summer, great beer for South Florida, very crisp, very palatable, which is what we really wanted to do with it. We wanted to make it an everyday drink that, you know, you can have 3 or 4 of them and still have a good time and not be overloaded by the sweetness of the beer as well as the calories of it.
Oh, so this is a low-calorie beer.
It is.
My kind of beer. And number 3.
All right, so the next one we're going to get into here, this is our Deck the Walls. This is actually what brings you in today. We're doing our special can release on this. So this is a spiced Imperial Porter. We switched up the recipe a little bit from last year. This one's really nice. So you're going to taste a little cardamom. You're going to have a slight hint of ginger in there as well, a little cinnamon on the back end. Really good holiday beer. Again, this is our Christmas release. It goes perfect with the holiday.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. Elizabeth Gonzalez from Sincerely Miami here on the MMM Live Network. So I'm hanging out here with Eric at Concrete Beach Brewery. Say hi, Eric.
Hello, everyone.
So first off, welcome to Miami.
Thank you.
So Eric just came to Miami, originally LA, and then New York. And how long have you been here?
3 months. 3 months. So it's been a wild ride. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it here. It's a great, you know, it's pretty much what I was expecting. You know, not what I was expecting, but I'm really enjoying it. It's been a few surprises, but other than that, it's been awesome.
And you came here for Concrete Beach Brewery, correct?
I did, yeah. I came here. I was, you know, I applied for the job, and I was like, this is the brewery where I'm gonna be at. I mean, it's a beautiful brewery, and you know, I'm really excited about the things that we have going on, the things that have been going on, and so it's in a great community too. The Wynwood is really an accepting area, and the beer scene here is also very accepting, so it's great.
Tell me a little bit about your role, what it is you do here at Concrete Beach.
So I'm the head brewer here. So I do I manage the production schedule. I do new beer development, and pretty much kind of see what we can do to kind of push the envelope and make new beers, and also or not push the envelope, make traditional beers. So we do a little bit of everything here. We do mainly traditional lagers, but my job is to pretty much make sure that we get them out on time and we actually make them to how we want them to taste, and also make sure that our quality is consistent throughout every brew, because you can make a beer 100 times, but if it's 100 different ways, then it's not going to be the same beer.
So I like to imagine that a brewmaster is also like a name for it, right?
It is, brewmaster it's kind of a term that gets thrown around a lot, but it means, you know, you really are putting in at least 20, 30 years to be a brewmaster. You know, I met a guy in Germany, and he says, and I was like, oh, so are you know, he's been brewing for 20 years, and he goes, oh, I was like, you're the brewmaster, and he says, no, I'm just the head brewer. My father is the brewmaster. He's been brewing for 60 years, and I was like, so that's something that I've always kind of kept with me, is that, like, you know, it's going to take a long time. But so you're always learning something new. But, yeah.
So you got to earn brewmaster. I love it. I like to imagine head brewers as like mad scientists back here with their these big massive things that they put things in.
Oh yeah. Well, we also have our lab back there too. So it's all about, you know, like dosing and seeing what we want our flavors to taste like, and yeah, it kind of has that kind of feel to it too. Sometimes we're like, I'm going to throw purple corn in this one, and it's to see what we can do with it. So it's a lot of fun.
So tell me a little bit about what happens in this space. So by the way, we are live streaming from the lab here at Concrete Beach Brewery. Tell me a little bit about what happens in production.
Well, so I mean, we start with grain. So pretty much what we do here is we are a 20-barrel brew house. We can brew up to about 15,000 barrels a year. In our facility, we also can here, and we also keg. And everything that we make here is what you're having in the store, what you're having at a bar, what you're picking up at Winn-Dixie or Publix. Everything is either packaged, canned, or brewed here. And we start with grain. And so we have barley. Barley is the heart of beer. You start with barley, you mix it with water at a certain temperature, get the enzymes out, and that's what creates alcohol, is the sugars in the barley. And so we do that in our kettles in our brew house over here, over to the left, over to the right here. This is pretty much where we call it the hot side. And we make, so it starts with grain, and then we boil that water that's mixed with the grain. We separate it out, boil that, put hops in, which is the second, you know, water, barley, hops, 3 ingredients so far. This is what makes beer bitter. It balances it out, and also gives you a fruity aroma if you want. Aroma of hops is also like, it's big in IPAs, and it's actually big in every beer, but IPAs really accentuate that aroma. And then the third one is yeast, and that's when they start to go into tanks and they ferment in there.
So on my last brew tour, I made the mistake of when the brewer said, would you like to taste the hops? I said yes.
You just ate it.
I looked at it like, oh, this is rabbit food, but I'm the person who will try anything, and it was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Do not eat the hops.
Yeah, so I mean, these are not how hops grow. They don't grow in pellets, but they're more efficient. And it's just really, they just crush the flour and press it together, so it's a little bit easier for us to use in a production capability. Or else we'd be having bales and bales of hops here that we just also have to get out of the brew, too, because you don't want them to stick around. You want them to do their job, and you want them out. So, yeah.
I'm imagining like a large strainer.
That's one of these tanks is a giant strainer. That's what separates the grain and the water. So, because once the grain seeps out into the water, turns it into wort, you don't want the grain anymore. So you sieve it right out of there. And so, yeah.
So you came from LA, you went to New York, and now you're here in the 305. And so tell me a little bit about like just the different vibe going from major city to major city, and then now being in Miami, which is still like such a baby. Like we're still developing and figuring shit out. Like tell me a little bit about the difference in now being here.
Right. Well, so I came from cities where the brewery scene is huge. There's I think right now in LA there's about 15 to 20. New York there was 26. 2 more on the way. In Miami it's almost half that right now. But that's great. That's great things. And the coming here and seeing that people are it's kind of like reliving the first time again, where people are kind of really enjoying craft beer for kind of like the first time. It's like, oh, it's really refreshing to actually have people, sometimes people can be jaded on craft beer, or it's like, oh, another IPA or something like that. But right now, it's something where people are like, oh, this is our new, our new IPA, or our new Goza, or our new, kettle sour beer. Like, what's a sour? And then it's like, oh, wow, this is great. I get to do that all over again. And so it's great to kind of see that. And also the community here is really welcoming too. It's a big, like the brewing community right now is a little small, but it's really welcoming. We've been embraced by our neighbors. We have Wynwood over here, we have J. Wakefield over here, and then now we have New Vasisaur Brewery over there. And we all get together, we all have beers. We go to each other's brewery and have a beer, and it's something that is refreshing to see again. And it's kind of going away a little bit in the way the craft beer is kind of evolving, but here it's very strong, and so I love it here.
And you guys also host beer tours.
Yep.
So is it you that does that?
On special days, a lot of times I'm working, so I can't really do them. We train our leads and we train our tour guides to really just kind of really get as excited about beer as we are in the back and making it. But today I am. Today I'm doing all the beer tours and everything. But yeah.
Well, since we're on the tour topic, can I get just like a little, not a whole spiel, but like the little mini tour?
Yeah.
Let's get a mini tour. Check this place out.
Absolutely. So we measure our beer in